And we go to Project Drive Sober now, and every year innocent people are killed on Wisconsin roads because of others driving under the influence.
And it's not just alcohol that has left a deadly mark on the state's record. Tonight, NBC 26's Matt Jarko takes us to the front lines of drugged driving, the consequences, and how law enforcement has responded.
April 25th, 2008.
It was a Friday afternoon.
Just another day.
She had just picked up her children from school.
Until it wasn't.
She was stopped at a stoplight, and this doctor, who was high on prescription drugs, slammed into the back of her car going 50 miles an hour.
The crash killed Jennifer Bukowski, her 10-year-old daughter, and Bukowski's unborn child.
You know, our whole extended family and our daughter's husband's family were affected greatly.
The driver had his license revoked just days before because of an OWI. Court records show during this crash he wasn't driving drunk. He was under the influence of Ambien, Xanax, and oxycodone. Law enforcement here in Brown County says drugged driving is a huge problem that's getting bigger. They say it one day could surpass drunken driving. But the problem is drugs don't show up on a breathalyzer. So how then does law enforcement get these drivers off the road?
Today is the Advanced Roadside Impaired Driving Enforcement class.
A-RIDE, a training program to help officers identify drivers under the influence of drugs.
It helps not only our program, but it helps the community.
Heels and toes together, arms down at your side.
Here, officers learn new roadside sobriety checks. There's a balance test, where a driver will tilt his or her head back and count to 30 seconds. The officer will look for sways or tremors.
Bring the tip of your finger to the tip of your nose, just like this.
There's also a finger-to-nose test, where a driver will try to touch his or her nose several times.
Right.
An officer will look for signs of impairment.
So it's just one added tool for the law enforcement officers in class today to be able to use out on the street when they suspect an impaired driver, but then their preliminary breath test does not corroborate what their results are.
At A-RIDE training, officers also learn about the drugs that are out there. Experts say painkillers are prevalent, so is marijuana.
There's people out there that think that it's just something that relaxes you and stuff, but marijuana actually, it impairs you and makes you just as dangerous a driver as someone on prescription drugs that are overdosing on it, or someone that's been drunk driving. It's just as dangerous.
And as legalization continues in states around Wisconsin, Brown County hopes all officers on patrol can soon recognize the signs of drugged driving.
Getting those drug-impaired drivers off the road.
The hope is to get those drivers off the road before the worst possible outcome, before someone gets killed, before another family wonders, why us?
We live our life as I guess we always would. We just live them without people that were dear to us.
Matt Jarko, NBC 26.
And the driver convicted in the crash that killed Bukowski was Dr. Mark Benson. He was found guilty of 3 counts of homicide by intoxicated use of a vehicle, sentenced to 30 years in prison. For more on Project Drive Sober, visit our website. It is NBC26.com. You can find past stories as part of Project Drive Sober. Stay with us here on NBC 26.